Okay, today I'm tasting three more bourbons. And spoiler alert on this one of these I really enjoyed, and the other two, not so much. So, any guesses on which one I enjoy before I do some review? All right. As always, appreciate you subscribing. If you find this content interesting, if you have some suggestions on things I should review, fermentation experiments I should try, leave those in the comments. I'd like to take those into consideration. And of course, if you want to bring a bottle of bourbon over sometime or your favorite spirit and let's sit down and have a tasting together, I'll bring a bottle, you bring a bottle, we'll do some sipping and see if we can learn something from one another. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into today's tasting. So, as always, or at least as of lately, I've been referring to the breakingbourbon.com website to get some insider details about the things that I'm sharing with you all today. Great site. I haven't done that much research on the website, but it's going to be a go-to resource for me on an ongoing basis. So first, we have a Woodford Reserve Barrel Finish Select Double Oak. Now, years ago, Woodford was okay. As time has gone on, I've grown to appreciate and enjoy a Woodford Reserve a great deal more. This is double oaked, so let's read what you can usually always find a lot of information on the label if you understand the terminology. So we know this is Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, so that means it's been aged for a minimum of 2 years in Kentucky. This says it's been finished in a second oak barrel, so very cool. And let's see what else we can find. It says bourbon finished in a new heavily toasted, lightly charred barrels, so that's why it gets the double oak. And as far as the mash bill is concerned, looks like we're looking at about 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. As far as the age, I don't know if we know that per se. Anyway, we're going to move on and we're going to do a little bit of sniffing and then sipping. So that just feels warm and inviting. Yeah, you get the oak on that one. So if you're not an oak, if you don't like the oaky taste, um, you're probably not going to like this one. You do get that char as well in there. It's a very consistent flavor from front to back. Actually, as it's finishing there, it's like I'm sucking on a butterscotch. Um, this is tasty. I really enjoy this. I just got this the other day. I've had some of the other Woodford products. They're fine, but the double oak, yeah, it's worth it. And as far as the price point, I think this is about. I think I have a receipt here, so bear with me. I think that this is about $60 that I purchased the other day at a Big Red in the area. So very, very good. All right. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna cleanse my palate. Preference as far as whether you do or you don't. But the butterscotch on that second sip, it's good. It's a nice smoky butterscotch. That's my best way to describe that one. All right, so the next one that we're going to try today is a Willet Pot Stove Reserve Bourbon. I've seen this bottle a few times, and I thought it was cool. And Willet is a brand I've tried a few times, not in any, maybe at a restaurant here and there, but never. This is my first bottle of Willet that I've owned, and this was a birthday gift from a really good friend of mine. So thank you, Kim, for that. And of course, if you ever want to give a gift to me, I like bourbon, so cool bottles. That's nice. I like to collect some bottles, empty and full. So, but you can never go wrong with the Woodford Double Oak. Buffalo Trace is a go-to. If you watched my earlier video, you found that I enjoyed this Russell's 10-year as well. Now, I've had this, a little bit of this. You can tell there's quite a bit missing from this. Let's read the bottle and see what we can find out. So it's a 94 proof. Actually, I'm going to cheat and look at the Breaking Bourbon Doesn't have a lot about the mash bill. I'm not really sure a lot about this. The breaking bourbon details are a little bit of a mystery. It says pot still, small batch. I don't. Small batch is one of those ambiguous terms. Um, Depending on the size of the distiller, how they define small batch might be different than another distiller. But I will say it was the first time or two I had this, and I've given it a couple times to see if it changed. I was kind of disappointed. I've always heard great things about the Willet brand. I was hoping this would be a nice reflection of their product offering. I don't know that it is. I'm willing to try some other Willets, but let's try this again to see if maybe it has changed or my taste has changed. Decently strong ethanol smell. And some tip is that I've heard is sometimes if you let it sit in the glass for a little bit, let it breathe a little bit, the flavor will change over that period of time. You can always dilute it with a little bit of water. Some people like it over ice. Really, bourbon. I promise you can find a bourbon that you will enjoy. You just have to figure out the way that you enjoy it, whether you're not high rye or you'd rather have wheated. All sorts of variations out there. So don't give up if you still want to like bourbon. There's plenty of product out there these days. All right, so let's give it a taste. Now, see, to me, it's better this time than the time I tried it before. But it's kind of got, to me, a musty aftertaste. And it's almost overpowering, that mustiness to it. I wish I knew a little bit more about the mash bill on this to give me some idea of what's causing that flavor. I might do some research to see if I can find out more. It's better this time, like I said, but I wouldn't get this again. The bottle's cool, and I may save this for an infinity bottle. I just learned what this was recently. A lot of folks that do these tastings, they don't drink all these bourbons because you would be hammered. So I actually have started my own infinity bottle from the last video, and as I finish up today's tasting and future tastings, I'll be adding to that. I'll keep a list of everything that goes into that. From some folks, they really have find that blending all these whiskeys together makes a really interesting taste combination. So I'll keep a list of everything that goes into my infinity bottle. I'll probably save this because it's cool, it's decorative, and maybe this will be a future infinity bottle as well. Let's give it one more sip. It's okay. Like I said, wouldn't get it again. But I love the gift. Keep the gifts coming. If you're going to buy me anything, buy me bourbon. That's a great thing to provide. All right, so the next bottle, we've had this for a while. You can see it's almost empty. And in fact, depending on how my tasting goes today, if it goes the way it has every other time I've had this, the rest of this content might be going into that infinity bottle. I don't know that I'll be sticking this around, but this one is cool, and my wife found this somewhere. I don't remember where. This is a little bit on the pricier end. This is a St. Cloud Kentucky bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 7-year. It is 122 proof. It says it's single barrel, and as I've come to learn, sometimes the single barrels they can come off a little bit stronger than a full batch or whatever, a small batch. But the stopper on this one is really cool because it's durable. It's nice metal. It's heavy. But this too is a very cool bottle. I'll be keeping this regardless of what happens to inside. All right, it's a lot smoother on the nose than I remember the last time. Actually, I'm going to do a quick palate rinse. My mug and bun cup. Yeah, it's pretty soft. It's more pleasant than the Willet. Right now, this double oak is still the winner. It's interesting. Okay, I'm not going to put the rest of this into the infinity bottle. It's way more pleasant today than the previous times that I've had it. And again, we've had this for a while. I know sometimes folks say that you get too much airspace in here that can influence things. I'm not that sophisticated or experienced, frankly, to know how much of a difference that does or doesn't make. But um, the mash bill is undisclosed, except that it says it includes corn, rye, and malted barley. Second sip there, it's got some heat, and that heat sticks with you. Uh, this is definitely warms you up on a cold day, and it is a cold day here in central Indiana. So I don't know. I don't mind this one. We'll keep it around. We won't dump it into the infinity bottle, or at least the rest of this bottle. Price on this one, it's salty. And from Breaking Bourbon, the 2021 price says it's 150. Would I spend 150 on this again? No. This I think was the Willet from the Breaking Bourbon site says it's around $50. Would I spend 50 on this again? Probably not. The Double Oak I already told you I think was what were we sitting at, like $60, something like that. Or yeah, $60. Would I spend $60 on this again? You betcha. So I'm surprised, but this, or not surprised, but this is still my number one of these three. I don't mind this. I wouldn't spend the price on it. It's not worth the price. And this is okay, and I wouldn't pay the money for that. So, what do you think? What are your comments? Have you tried these three? Which one do you find that you enjoy better than the other? Let me know in the comments. And as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like this content, give us a great thumbs up. Again, if you'd like to come sip some bourbon one day, send me a note. We'll figure out a place and time, and we'll make it happen. So, thank you.